Thanks for tuning in and welcome to this week's review of 28 Weeks Later, starring Catherine McCormick and Robert Carlyle.
Showtime.
Are you going to tell us what happened to Mum?
The last infected human died 6 months ago.
We weren't here 6 months ago.
Have you come into direct contact with the infected?
Execute Code Red.
As we all know, this is a sequel to the popular movie 28 Days Later. I own 28 Days Later and liked it quite a bit. I thought it was a unique and nice new take on the zombie genre that in some ways has run its course. I was not sure what to expect from the sequel, how they would expand the trailer and tell the full story. I will say I liked the trailer, and I like the idea of how the story would play out based on what I've seen so far. The movie does a good job of starting with a bang and getting you ready for some action. I really like the way they make the zombies badasses. They're fast and they're filmed well. As you know, the whole idea of this movie is that every infected person has died from starvation, and now they're recolonizing part of the country post-infection and trying to repopulate the city in sections. As you've seen from the trailer, one person who has come in contact with the infected is discovered and begins to infect everyone in the quarantine area. How this happens is actually pretty stupid. I'm not going to give it away, but this part was so annoying how the first person got affected. But hey, judge for yourself. I was into the movie, so it didn't kill it for me, but I think it could have been done in a much less annoying way. I understand why they did it this way, but I didn't like it. But this is when the movie hits into overdrive and all hell breaks loose, and now you know the movie's really started. The next 30 minutes or so are pretty good. Good action and plenty of gore, and I mean some grindhouse type gore. This is not one for the kiddies. You're also going to like the Paris Hilton cam they have going on. It's done pretty well, and also it's not done too long so it gets annoying. It has some pretty intense moments, it has the action and the gore, sometimes even more than the original. Now for the final act. Here's where we run into some problems. When I knew the movie was coming close to an end, I started thinking, what's the point? I wasn't really attached to any of the characters in this movie. I didn't feel the cast was nearly as strong as in the first movie. While the casting wasn't bad and the acting wasn't horrible, I just didn't feel the same connection in this one like I did the first one. In the first one, I was much more into the character's fate, and in this one, I just didn't bond with them like I did the first one. This is when, to me, the movie began to take a nosedive. I think the execution was okay, and the script had some strong parts, but it was equally weak in others. The ending was not the high point. The movie started out pretty high, and it was still pretty good in the middle, but when it came down to wrapping the movie up, I thought it was fairly bland and unoriginal. Now, I will say the final scene was pretty good. I like that. But the 10 to 15 minutes before, I've seen so many times, and it really didn't offer anything unique. I would say if you liked the first one, check this one out. But if you haven't bothered to see that one yet, you definitely need to rent that one first, because if you don't like that one, you're probably not going to like this one either. Even though I've been somewhat critical of this movie, I did enjoy it more than I didn't, but it was close. I felt almost right in the middle in this one. It showed some good action and gore, but the overall story was lacking greatly and the characters just weren't that strong. From overall rating, I give 28 Weeks Later 2.5 stars.